Hey yo everybody! Today we're taking a little stroll in Akihabara where we're gonna check out and hunt down some original Xbox games. It wasn't so popular in Japan, but let's see what we can find.
ゲームであなたの人生を変えてみたいと思った。大げさですか？
Alright, so on this rainy day, we're first headed to Surugaya. And they have a nice little selection in the very back at the very bottom of this shelf here. And what do they got? Well, they have Air Force Delta 2 for 800 yen. A neat flight combat game by Konami. Otogi, a rather obscure action game from God Software, aka From Software, for 2,200 yen. And they have a special pack version of it for 4,300 yen. Kakuto Chojin for 1,990 yen. Never played it before, but apparently it was merely meant to be a graphical showcase for the Xbox that ended up being turned into this full game here. House of the Dead 3 for 2,100 yen. Don't you just miss light guns? I don't know about you, but sensor bars and cameras just ain't the same for me as pointing a light gun directly at the target on screen. The Funky Jet Set Radio Future for 2,500 yen. A game Sega really ought to make another one of. Panzer Dragoon Orta for 2,000 yen. And with games like this, Jet Set and House of the Dead, it makes you realize just how much the Xbox really is just a continuation of the Dreamcast. Dead to Rights for 500 yen. Always meant to play this one. It looks like something I'd enjoy with the whole film noir thing going on. Double Steel for 1,000 yen. You could say that's a steal. A unique racing game where it's police versus Yakuza. And this one was actually a Japan-only sequel to Reckless, the Yakuza missions. WWE Raw for 600 yen. Okay, not the best wrestling game at the time. That goes to SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. In fact, I think that's the best wrestling game of all time. But you know, I would take this game over all the games they keep spitting out year after year now. The Punisher, 4,500 yen. A pretty solid game, actually. It didn't come out in Japan, so this is the North American version, probably due to the violence, but funny enough, this version is also censored, and you actually have to use a Game Shark to bring back all the blood and remove the camera buffoonery it pulls during the interrogations. I actually think the violence is kinda mild, all things considered. Kind of ridiculous that they censored it to begin with, but nonetheless, a solid game. Ninja Gaiden Black, the best version of the best Ninja Gaiden game for 5,200 yen. But like the Punisher, this game is also censored. The Japanese rating system, as you may know, 0, is a biatch when it comes to decapitations and limb dismemberment. So I say stick with the North American version.
今、男が立ち上がる。子供の遊びは終わりだ。Ninja Gaiden Xbox.
Alright, now let's head on over to the upper floor of Trader. Now I'm not sure if these are junk or if they just don't have an Xbox on hand to test them, or simply they don't have the shelf space to spare for only a dozen Xbox games. But there is some good stuff here. We got Project Gotham Racing 2 for 600 yen, which for my money, I prefer these games over any of the Forza series. The racing genre, in my opinion, kind of went downhill once they started making all the racetracks as realistic as possible and based on real locations. I just want creative, fun as hell racetracks, and not just in my arcadey racers. But what you gonna do? Genma Onimusha for a measly 200 yen, which is like $1.45. An updated version of the ass-kicking classic, with better visuals, new demons, costumes, areas, and some gameplay tweaks. It's also said to be a fair bit more challenging. Blinks the Time Sweeper for 500 yen. This was an interesting attempt on Microsoft's part to have an animal mascot of their own.
Oh, leave the pile.
Yeah. Looking a bit down. What's the matter?
You wouldn't believe it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I'll just drink less.
But it's not a bad game, actually. It has an interesting rewind and fast forward mechanic, and I actually kind of like this character. Anyways, we got Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. Again, only 200 yen, and perhaps the best DOA game to date. Or some say that title belongs to Dead or Alive 3. And again, 200 yen. I didn't actually play this one because I did not get an Xbox at launch, probably a few years later, but I do remember seeing it on the kiosks in Sam Goodies. And I gotta say, it still looks pretty damn awesome today. We can't talk about Xbox without talking Halo. And here it is for 200 yen. While putting this video together, actually, I came across this very weird Japanese ad for Halo. Now, I'm not sure if this is legit, but if it is, it has to be hilariously one of the worst commercials I've ever seen. You be the judge. No wonder the Xbox didn't take off in Japan. But anyways, last but not least, we're headed to good old Super Potato, where the lighting is as yellow as a buttery potato. Going into this hunt, I knew the Xbox selection would be small, given that it's Japan, but I figured Super Potato would actually have the larger selection. But on the contrary, it actually has the smallest. But let's take a look anyways. They do have a few games. They got another copy of Genma Onimusha. This time though, it's for a whopping 4,378 yen. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for an even steeper 6,578 yen. The original version of Ninja Gaiden, brand new, for 4,928 yen. But same as before, new or not, the North American version is the way to go with this game. But they do have another used copy of Vanilla here for 1,078 yen. And that is basically it for original Xbox games and Super Potato. However, they do have this awesome transparent blue Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate Xbox, and hot damn, it's gonna cost you 43,780 yen or $337. But it does look pretty damn cool. I love the color. I'd totally buy this if it weren't for that asking price. Anywho, that will do it for this Xbox game hunt. The selections seemed to get smaller and smaller with each store we went to, but nonetheless, there was some good stuff and some good prices. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll catch you on the next one. In fact, we got a new episode of Metal Heroes right around the corner, so until then, this is Den Den, signing off.
はい、真島です。ただいま戦闘配置につきます。
あなた、
個室を作って待ってなさい。ハッチを閉めます。電源をチェック。エミッションスタンバイ。オルオケ。ピックアップ。真島のうち出ます。